All right, students, we have the answers. Yes. Then sit somewhere else. No one sits next to their stalker. So, the first question. Fractions. Bemdas, do what is in the fractions first and then subtract. So, 4 1/5 can be made as a single fraction, 21/5. Subtract 10/9 multiplied by 3, or you can see 3/1. When you've done this successfully, 10/9 multiplied by 3/1 becomes 30/9. When you have two fractions, either addition or subtraction, the denominators have to be the same. So I'm looking for the lowest common multiple of 5 and 9. Lowest common multiple of 5 and 9 is 45. So I multiply 21 with 9, and I multiply 30 with 5. Then I shall receive the answer of 189 subtracting 150, which in turn gets to 39/45, and you have to simplify, which in turn becomes 13/15. It says, calculate the exact value. First keyword, calculate. That's the first keyword. So if you decide to only place the answer, by definition, it's wrong. The second keyword is the exact value. An exact value does not contain decimals. So if you place, for example, 0.15, the answer is wrong. Which paper? Mm-mm. So you should have left your answer in a fraction. Second one, B. Exchange Barbados dollars equivalent to 1 US. Keyword, calculate. Keyword. 1 USD I see that everyone scored 99, so this is extremely easy. I see that. So 1 US is equivalent to 645 Trinidad and Tobago dollars. I'm looking for the equivalent of Barbados dollars to US. So what I should be focusing on is Trinidad and Tobago dollars. So if 1 Barbados dollars equals 3 Trinidad and Tobago dollars, I need to look at 645 Trinidad and Tobago dollars. And I would know the equivalent of 1 US. You can either do a table like this, or you can switch it by doing the second one. Remember, it says calculate. If you only place the table with the answer, it's the same as only placing the answer. You have to show you're working. What are you doing? Divide 643 by 3. 1 USD equals 215 Barbados dollars. The next question follows by exchanging 1806 Barbados dollars to US. You already know that 1 US is equivalent to so many Barbados dollars. Some people multiplied, got the answer immediately, correct? Or you did it the same way I did. You multiply to Trinidad and Tobago, and then you divide by the Barbados dollars. And your answer would have been 840. 3, if not 2 ways of getting to the answer. C, hire purchase. If I'm not mistaken, some people got confused with simple interest and compound interest. Nothing to do with that. Hire purchase means I pay a deposit and then I pay X amount of monthly installments. So, my MacBook i7 16-inch is $47.99. I can pay it immediately, or I pay it in installments in hire purchase. And the question is, how much do I have to pay total if it was hire purchase? So the first step is to multiply the total amount of installments with the amount of money received. If done correctly, your answer would be $4,999.76. Do not forget to add the deposit. Once you add the deposit, your answer will become $5,039.76. That's your answer. The next one is calculate the percentage profit. So how much more, or rephrasing it, how much more do I have to pay if I have to pay cash or hire purchase? How much more am I paying for doing hire purchase? It's a simple formula, or you can have done it manually. The formula is the new price subtract by the old price divided by the old price multiplied by 100%. And at the end it says round off to 2 decimals. Certain people only wrote 5%. Some people rounded off incorrectly, 501. But the answer is 5.02%. Easy. 30 seconds to make that exercise. Exercise 2. This one takes you about 5 seconds. P to the power of 3, Q to the power of 2 multiplied by PQ to the power of 5. How do you go about the answer? P multiplied by P, which is 3 add 1, and then Q squared multiplied by Q fifth. You just add the indices together. So the answer is P to the power of 4 and Q to the power of 7. Some people did it the second way. They said P to the power of 4 multiplied by Q to the power of 7. It's also fine. The way you should make it in the test is like this.
I'm not Aiden! Keep on the bundle! What's the thing?
When you are finished, let me know. Because it's so important what you're doing. Please, let me in on it.
Please.
Your grades, I can see you're finished. The next question, 4.2. A asterisk B represents 2A subtract 5B. So if there is 3 asterisk 4, your A is represented by the 3 and the B is represented by the 4. So 2 multiplied by 3 subtract 5 multiplied by 4. If I'm not mistaken, that is the first exercise in 4.2. If I'm not mistaken. Literally the first one. When you do it successfully, your answer is negative 14. Yes. The asterisk doesn't mean anything. This equation represents this. So it represents this equation. A asterisk B represents this. It's like saying x equals 5. You'll say, but what is x? X is 5. This means this. So when you have 3, A is 3, so A is 3. 2 multiplied by 3. The following question is an addition to the one previous. You already know the answer to 3 asterisk 4, which is negative 14. So after you've done that, you do it again. That is the third exercise in 4.2. So after you've done it, you get negative 14. Then you do negative 14 asterisk 1. You do the same thing again. If done successfully, your answer is negative 33. Yes, that is II. 2II. The following question. You have a piece of wire. That piece of wire is bent and made into a square, which has the area of 121. The area of a square means that all sides are equal. All sides of the square are equal. So what I'm saying to you is, 2 numbers multiplied with each other become 121. The question is, what is that number? If something squared equals a constant number, In order for you to find that number, you take the square root of the answer. And your answer is 11. They ask for the perimeter. What is a perimeter? You start somewhere and you go along adding up all the lengths together. So it's 11 add 11 add 11 add 11, or 11 multiplied by 4. And your answer would have been 44 centimeters. That same piece of wire is then turned into a circle. And that circle, they would like to know the radius of said circle. In order to make this specific exercise, what do I need to know? The formula of the circumference of a circle. Why? The length of that piece of wire is what? 44 centimeters. So the circumference of this circle is what? 44. And the formula for the circumference of the circle is 2 pi radius. They would like to know the radius. So my equation would become 44 equals 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by r. The question is, how do I get to that answer? I will make an easier equation. 2 multiplied by 5 multiplied by a number equals 100. 2 multiplied by 5 equals 10. What multiplied by 10 equals 100? The answer is 10. But how do I get to that answer? How do I get to that 10? I divide the 100 by what? 2 multiplied by 5. So what do? The exact same thing here. 44 divided by what? 2 multiplied by pi. And what is pi? 22/7. And if done correctly, answer is 7 centimeters. Wow, that was easy. Yes. Where is 5? It's an example. What do you mean? I did this to give an example on how to make that one. So? Yes, pi is 22/7. The same thing. How do I get to x? Dividing 100 by 2 multiplied by 5. How do I get to r? By dividing 44 by 2 pi. These two are the same. Six. Wow. Another easy one. A machine produces circular discs. The machine malfunctions and creates the disc below. If you notice correctly, let me remove this and that. The place where I have a red line, that is where the disc been cut off. So that is a triangle. This specific triangle, they say calculate the area of this triangle. The area of a triangle is a half multiplied by the base multiplied by the height. Yet, 5 is not the height. Teacher, how do I get to the height? That's simple. Our friend Pythagoras' theorem can help us with that. This specific triangle is what type of triangle? It's an isosceles triangle. So, if I draw a line through the middle, I create a right-angled triangle, which is represented here. And in a right-angled triangle, I can get the height. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 3 squared plus the height equals 5 squared, which in turn becomes 9 added by a number equals 25. What is that number? That number is 16. If something squared equals another number, which is 16, how do I get to that number? You square root that number, which is 4. Square root of 16 is 4. That means the height of that triangle is 4. Going back to original formula for the area, a half times 6 times 4, answer 12 centimeters squared. The following question we shall do next week. So remember to bring your paper so we can continue with this paper.